Congress taking quick action, approving a $13 billion deal to help Ukraine.
School districts across our area tell us they're seeing significant increases in children that are homeless.
I'm announcing another $800 million to further augment Ukraine.
A revealing look at homelessness among the middle class.
U.S. have announced new military assistance for Ukraine. They've promised an extra $713 million.
We experienced as a county a 22% increase in homelessness.
The Senate overwhelmingly passing a new $40 billion Ukraine aid bill.
We are learning the homeless problem we are seeing in Knoxville is growing at an alarming rate.
The U.S. is sending an additional $700 million in military aid to Ukraine.
We're in dire straits. We don't know where we're going to go. We have no savings.
The U.S. is sending an additional $1 billion in weapons and aid to Ukraine.
The CEO of the Coalition for the Homeless of Central Florida tells me this is a scary trend.
The Pentagon announcing today it's sending a new $450 million military package to Ukraine.
Tonight we are going in depth on the issue of homelessness, of course, a growing problem here in Colorado.
The U.S. sending an additional $400 million in military aid to Ukrainian forces.
Rising housing costs and inflation are leading to more people living on the street.
The United States is sending another $1 billion in military aid to Ukraine.
Advocates say the homeless crisis continues to grow at an alarming rate.
A new aid package is going to be announced tomorrow, including an additional $3 billion to train and equip Ukrainian forces to fight for years to come.
A sad sign of our times, the number of homeless people in Southern California is on the rise.
The White House now asking Congress for more than $13 billion in additional military aid.
69,000. That's how many people are homeless across L.A. County.
Well, the Biden administration preparing to send another $600 million military package to Ukraine.
Sacramento's homeless population had a jump of 67%.
And the U.S. is sending another round of military aid for Ukraine. Included in the $1.1 billion package are 18 HIMARS launchers.
More than 2,500 students within the district don't have a place to call home.
Yeah, Katie, and that's 1,000 more from last year.
The United States has announced a new military aid package for Ukraine worth $725 million.
There's a stark warning from city officials tonight as they're seeing a record number of families out on the streets.
$275 million to meet Ukraine's critical security and defense needs.
One LA County city is close now to declaring a state of emergency over homelessness.
The department is announcing approximately $400 million in additional security assistance for Ukraine.
Phoenix has the highest inflation rate of any major city in the country. Housing prices are up 17% from the previous year. And you can see the fallout of that just right behind me here.
The White House is also asking for $37.7 billion to fund the war in Ukraine.
Ryan is one of the more than 3,000 chronically homeless people in Portland. Being chronically homeless means living on the streets with a disability for more than a year.
Washington was sending a $275 million aid package to Ukraine.
About 172,000 homeless people live in California. The state had the largest rate of increase in its homeless population in the country.
The bill includes a major boost for military spending, also nearly $45 billion in aid to Ukraine.
A stunning change in the price of homes in 2021. Take a look. To afford a median-priced home in Knoxville, buyers needed $60,000. 1 year later, for that same home, you would need $94,000.
The United States will demonstrate our continued enduring commitment to Ukraine's ability to defend itself with the announcement of over $3 billion in new military assistance to Ukraine.
We begin tonight with a worsening homeless problem in downtown San Diego. The latest in a series of new reports finds that the number of people living on the streets reached a record high last month.
The meeting comes as the U.S. unveils a $2.5 billion military assistance package for Ukraine.
A sobering figure tonight highlighting the housing crisis in Seattle. The city hit a record number of homeless deaths in 2022.
And this $2.5 billion package is one of our largest yet.
To the United States, Los Angeles now has the largest homeless population in the country, overtaking New York City.
But if you keep throwing money that you can't or won't spend to develop your country inside, you're developing a recipe for the collapse of an empire, because that's how the British Empire, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, that's how they came to their end. They forgot that the first order of business is to take care of your own people. And if you don't do that while running around the world imagining you can control everybody else, everything is going to be taken away from you. And I think Americans are already feeling it, sensing it, smelling it in the air, that something is basically wrong. And then they go and they find scapegoats, which is again another piece of evidence of a declining empire.